In Consumer Corner, we take a look at the trends and products that are creating a buzz in China today. In today's installments, we take a look at the fast-moving topic of high-speed rail travel in China. While millions of Chinese people are enjoying high-speed train rides during the Chinese New Year, the country's media has been getting tough with the high-speed rail, or HSR, system. The country now has more than 7,500 kilometers of HSR line in operation, ranking it first in the world. Time Weekly, a Guangzhou newspaper, cited a railway expert as saying, "With high costs and a time-intensive investment cycle, operating a high-speed rail line almost equates with running a deficit." This comment fed criticisms of the chronic HSR losses that have been growing since last December, when the world's longest HSR line between Beijing and Guangzhou first came online. But last year's report by the World Bank tells another story. Quote, "HSR lines could bring broader economic benefits in the long run." Given the 30 years of cooperation between the World Bank and China's Ministry of Railways, the bank's support of China's HSR system won't be a surprise. Although the report pointed out some hidden risks in HR finance and operations, World Bank researchers remain confident that the ministry is capable of containing risk and generating economic benefits. Despite the media focus on how HSR is run in the red, the World Bank report presented an image of newly generated traffic, referring to growth in traffic for convenience travel while using high-speed rail, a trend that backed up its predictions of eventual profitability. The World Bank report stated that for trips of up to 1,000 kilometers, high-speed rail could become a major competitive challenge to airlines. For medium and short-distance trips, high-speed rail could dominate the market once held by buses, assuming passenger access to the train stations. Other than that, with half of HSR passengers fitting into the new consumer category, HSR services should eventually see profits as long as current trends continue. According to Chinese media reports, all railways have been struggling with low attendance, high-ticket fares being one major reason. While HSR lines in east-central China have benefited from a developed economy and could see occupancy rates exceed 90%, other lines report only 30% capacity during periods of normal demand. Fewer conventional rail passengers, on the other hand, would free up those older lines for more freight, an enhanced source of revenue, since freight revenues represent 70% of total profits for Chinese railways. The World Bank report said most high-speed railways had actually recovered their initial costs of operation and maintenance of trains and infrastructure. An analyst with a foreign bank told Time Weekly that with more HSR lines stretching out to the west, initial oversupply and excess capacity was a certainty. She estimated that it would take the western high-speed rail lines 3 times as long to achieve a positive cash flow compared with the eastern routes. In other words, HSR services in the West region can be expected to run a deficit for at least several more years. Although many Chinese scholars think that high-speed railways in China are overdeveloped and expensive, the World Bank has issued several reports supporting HSR in terms of its implications for the entire economy as well as regional development. The World Bank insisted that the myriad economic benefits of high-speed rail services would not be fully appreciated until decades of operation. Now, despite the cost and uncertainty, high-speed rail in China appears to be gathering speed. With this opportunity for fast and efficient travel now on track in China, we will keep you abreast of China's lead in the world of high-speed rail. The reports by the World Bank, which show a positive attitude toward the development of HSR networks in China, triggered extensive discussions on the Internet. Many Chinese netizens criticized HSR services. One Weibo user wrote, "No matter how much the World Bank praises HSR services, the favorable comments are just for the impact on the economy. It would indeed be odd if there was no change in the economy with such a huge investment. Yet still China's HSR services cannot compare with European railways or Japan in terms of technology, speed, comfort, or quality." One netizen valued the HSR network itself, but questioned the lavish spending behind the construction and operation. He wrote, "The HSR network is a good thing itself without any overdevelopment. The heart of the problem is how many expenses are inflated when we're building HSR lines. Even with such strong demand and high fares, the network is still sliding into a huge deficit. There can be no other explanation but that of spending too much money to no avail. Some netizens thought less of HSR since they are too expensive for ordinary people. One poster wrote, "We don't need any fancy, luxurious way of traveling. Instead, we only ask for economical and convenient trains. Developing too far in advance is a waste. Low transport efficiency is also a waste of resources." Although China's HSR services have carried many passengers, costly tickets and poor services are bound to further encumber HSR. How can the railway departments actually afford this great leap forward? How deep are their pockets? Will consumers end up footing the bill for huge losses? Finally, some agreed with the World Bank and appreciated the economic effects of HSR services. One poster wrote, "High-speed railways deserve the credit of contributing to the efficiency of economic operations. HSR enabled Japan's economy to really take off, and we don't know yet how many generations in the future of China will benefit from a gradually networked high-speed railway system in this country."